Arson, you're up.
Oh boy, do I have a lot to say. I guess I'll start with these. Yeah, I guess I'll start with the first part is, obviously the AI was lackluster, and I have some specific things that what they did in the video showed does not exist, and based off how they talk about the AI, I would expect these things to exist. And that being, the guard will walk up to you and scan you and make sure you're clean. Okay, well, if we're going to see that kind of behavior, then I'm going to expect the guards to, I don't know, maybe have somebody stationed at the landing pad, seeing people when they disembark and greeting and scanning them. If they see people loitering in front of their reactor building, maybe send somebody over there to say what's up. Install some security cameras, maybe. Just things like that for a little bit more immersion. I would even like to see guards be sent out of the facility to approach ships that land not on the pad but outside. Just be like, hey, what's up? What you guys doing here? But as far as all the takes of it goes, based off of what I saw, I don't believe that it is an issue of crashing. I think that it's more of an issue of trying to record live gameplay in a coherent thing and suffering from the fact that you're not familiar with all of the game mechanics. For instance, the initial shot where they're going in, they probably spent a whole bunch of time lining it up and like, okay, we've done our practice. And then they got down there and they realized that they were wanted and got shot down. That's my guess on the first one. And I believe things into all the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, maybe 100%. Maybe.
One of the other things that stuck out to me that you said, Kai, was the shields. I have a love-hate with it. Love on the sense that I look forward to being able to get a vanity color for it. Hate it because it kind of really removes all of your other customizations from combat visuals. So maybe it should be toned down a little bit. But from a stealth perspective, I find it really, really interesting because if you are wanted and you are trying to sneak around, maybe having your shield on causes guards to pay attention to you and come check on you. If that's the case, people trying to stealth around a base and stay hidden because they're wanted murderers aren't going to be running their shields. So maybe you can get a drop on them while they're still stealthed. So I could see some really interesting scenarios that could play out from that if the light generated by those shields is utilized in such a way. Which then makes me think of the next thing with the death mechanics and the concept of pushing people to orbit when you kill them. There's a lot of awesome PvP capabilities there. You're going to want air support in the air if you are in open in areas where other people are going to be. And then also for the death mechanics, I really hope there is a knockdown mechanic. And I bring this up because I used to play Star Wars Galaxies and a couple other games that when you died, you would be on the ground. Now you could, just wait and see if somebody would revive you or drag your corpse away or what have you, or you could just kind of tap out and respawn. I hope that there's a knockdown mechanic because if you have it, the scenarios that can play out from it are just immense, whether it's being revived by a friendly or potentially an enemy, or, we got in a firefight, I got the drop on somebody, I scared them, they popped me, and then they talk to me while I'm down and realize, okay, they're not actually hostile, I'll wake you up, Like, there's so many things that can happen with that, so I really hope that that knockdown mechanic is there or is added. I have other things, but I'll wait till later, because I'm very yappy. This is exciting to me.
All right, I see what you did. Save me till last. That's not a bad idea. Okay, off the bat, to battle a couple of points right now before I forget them. To the why didn't we get to see the alpha play? My bet, and I don't buy this excuse all the time, but that would assume that they would have been recording this within the last couple of weeks. I'm betting they've been working on this for months to get all that edit, to get a coherent story, quote unquote, story of the mission together, and I'm betting the alpha wasn't ready yet. That's why we're getting the pre-alpha gameplay footage. And the other thing, the recoil on the laser gun, that is such a trivial point. I could not care less if there's recoil on my laser rifle. I really couldn't. That is not going to affect how much fun I have with this one way or another. Now, on the overall thing, I'm going to hit my points that concern me on the video first. One, I did not get to see the ship come from outer space into atmosphere, nor did I see it leave atmosphere and go into space. I am very curious as to what that's going to look like. Very excited to see what that's going to look like. Maybe they didn't show up because it's alpha. Maybe they didn't show up because they want to save it for when you actually get your hands on it. But that part concerns me a little tiny bit. Also concerning was when they were running back to the ship and you saw that little blue, I don't know what you want to call it, little blue, come here to line your SRV up and we'll suck you up into the ship, for them running to board the ship. I hope to hell that is not how we board our ships. That will be heartbreaking if that is the case. That said, all in all, I'm very excited with what I saw. I actually think you missed a couple of little tiny details right at the beginning of this video, Kai, that you just overlooked because you were busy focusing on the bumbling gameplay of the devs, which we know they're not great elite players. They don't play it the way we do, so I ignored what they were doing, really. The first thing I noticed when they were exiting the ship and running was footprints in the sand. Love it. I noticed the sand blowing in the wind. Love it. The blue skies. Love it. The in space, actually, I guess that would be the first thing I noticed. The blue aura over the planet. Can't beat it. Looks absolutely fantastic. The art cutter to cut open that panel, that looks fun as hell. And I would contend, I don't know that it's a one push button kind of functionality to it, because I would contend in Elite Dangerous, nothing is that simple. Absolutely nothing in this game is push one button and you're done. So I don't know that that's going to be that way at all. The AI, yeah, I agree that the AI was problematic. It was not smart, but there's a couple of things that I think you have to take into effect when you're looking at this AI. One, pre-alpha. Two, this planet, if I'm not mistaken, is outside of the bubble. So yes, it's a military settlement, but it's a military settlement outside of the bubble that's not well supported. They didn't have vehicles. They didn't have guards all over the place or anything. So they're probably not going to have the top AI, top guards in the galaxy on that particular settlement. With the AI difficulty, I imagine, much like we do in our ships, if you are a harmless pilot in a ship and you go into a Hazres or a CZ even, you're going to come up against mostly harmless ships. They match your skill level. I'm betting it's going to be the same way when you're on the ground. Those AIs are going to match your skill level. As you level up, you'll get harder ones. The AI also, they have told us, difficulty level will be dependent on the BGS. How strong is that faction? How is the population? How strong is that faction's BGS? That is going to help determine the strength of the ground forces. I think you have to take all of these things into account when you're looking at this bubbling AI that we saw in this pre-alpha and give them the benefit of the doubt. I think it's going to be better. I think they know it would have to be better than what we saw. And I think they've got plenty of time. I mean, you got an alpha coming out in 3 weeks. You'll get your hands on it. You'll see what it is. And then who knows when the game actually, when Odyssey actually gets full release to you guys, and they've got until fall or so for console. So I really don't worry about the AI. I think the AI intelligence is something that programmers can dial in as it goes along. That's one of the things that you guys are going to be testing in the alpha, and I believe they'll be tweaking it as they go. As I also think the fines, the 250 credit fine for murdering, which is less than the trespassing, that kind of stuff they can easily adjust through the alpha. So all of the things that concern me, I think they can really fix. If they haven't already, I think it's really easy for them to adjust that kind of stuff. The important thing about what we saw was the gameplay, the co-op mission with friends, physical multi-crew. He landed and the people got off his ship. We can't do that right now. The ability, if you've ever played Red Dead online and you take a mission and you go ride into Valentine and something goes wrong and you end up in a shootout with the whole town, that can be some of the most fun video game times in a long time. I think we're going to have an opportunity for the same kind of thing with this. Something goes wrong on one of these missions and you and your 2 buddies or 3 buddies are holed up in this settlement trying to shoot your way out. That's going to create some amazing gameplay opportunities.